Hi guys, and welcome to the Audi SQ7, and this is gonna be a very fast tour on the outside because all you care is the sound and how it drives. This is a 7-seater version, which means you can fold up the rear seats like this. Electricity is nice, isn't it? And then pop these up and you have a perfectly fine 7-seater. Well, even I could sit back there, really. So as you can see, this car has very big alloys. I think these are 21 inches. They look absolutely amazing in this matte paint finish. V8 turbo sign, LED headlights, and black package all around. Let's take a sit at the rear. This is a very big car, by the way, so as you did imagine, well, you have lots of knee room, lots of headroom. Well, there's just lots of room, and materials everywhere you feel and touch are absolutely perfect. I have to mention that this is the more expensive version of the interior, the Audi design selection. I think this is why it has this nice brown or coffee interior, ventilated heated seats in the front and heated at the back. You have these leather strips along the doors. Every material you touch and feel is very, very premium. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the sunroof, which would have been very nice. Now, handrest. This is also a acceptable solution. If you have cup holders here, it's gonna hurt your elbow. Right, this is fine. Just open it up and you have cup holders. But yeah, this works for me. You can of course fold these seats completely flat to have a big loading area if you want to carry longer items. Let's sit in the front, and well, the niceness continues. Now I'm gonna open the window because this is something you want to listen to. This is a V8 turbo, a diesel V8, and well, it sounds amazing. I'm in dynamic mode. Let me just check. Yes, dynamic mode. Start the car. Car just sounds amazing, and well, I know it's speakers. You don't have to tell me the noise is fake. The noise is good, and that's what matters in this day and age. Well, you can't really ask for a car maker to make a nice sounding engine that's good on emissions, saves you some money on tax, etc. This is the best of both worlds, and dare to say it, I like this car very much. And if I was in the market for a 7-seater family hauler, this would be a no-brainer for me because, well, fuel economy is good, it sounds really good, it goes like the clappers, it has 320 kilowatts for Pete's sakes. So well, it's a seriously fast car, and what matters most is that it's fast where you need it. It's those short overtakings down low when you're just setting off. It's just amazing how much torque this car has. It's like never ending. And you can turn off the sound accumulator, by the way. So if you put it in comfort mode on the Audi Drive Select, it's just a quiet diesel, a quiet V8 diesel. But you want to drive this in dynamic mode, or as I am using it right now, I'm in individual mode, so everything else is in comfort, but the sound is pumped through the speakers and, well, through the exhaust. That's why it makes such a lovely, lovely sound. Now I am approaching a corner, and let's put it into dynamic. This lowers the car, stiffens the suspension, the steering wheel gets harder, throttle response gets harder, gearbox is in sport mode, and, well, everything is tightened up, and it actually feels like a really sporty car. I know this weighs like oh, I don't know how much, but very, very much, but it feels like a lighter car. And that's the whole point of having these configurations. If you put it into comfort, let me just do it right now, comfort, and now it just settles down, everything becomes very relaxed. Let me just put my ventilated seat on and my heated steering wheel, because, well, why not? Highway speeds. On highway speeds, the noise coming to the cabin is absolutely minimal. Just, yeah, put it into D, yeah. This is a very nice car to drive, and, well, I have to mention again, these materials, this was the pinnacle of Audi interior design, I think. Shame is that this car doesn't have the active info display. Audis, well, they make really good digital dashboards, so it's a shame this car does not have that. I have to talk again about the buttons. This car has buttons for everything. It's so easy to use. You want to change my heated seat settings, just one push and it's there. You want to change the temperature, just turn the dial. It's so easy, it's intuitive. I simply don't understand why car makers design these cars any differently. The pop-up screen is good as well. It just goes away if you don't want to look at it. And by the way, this is how these cars will be made sort of future-proof, because I'm gonna guess these screens are gonna be changeable in the near future when these become very, very bad and not a good quality. So you can just flip these out to a newer system and you're good to go. But having said that, this is a very nice system to use. It's fast, it's nippy. The problem with these new, well, like new 2021, 2020 screens is that they are so full of tech that the screens, they just can't cope. They're slow. These screens, when they were, I think this is a 2018 model year car or something, or 2017, doesn't really matter. But this is the time where screens had enough power to cope with everything it had to do. Nowadays, a screen has to do like a million things, and, well, it just gives up. It doesn't really care anymore. This just has to make you choose your radio station and, well, use navigation or Apple CarPlay. That's it. It's just so easy. No touchscreeny stuff anywhere. It just makes so much sense. I'm gonna make a prediction that in the near future we will go back to buttons against the touchscreens, because people just don't like these anymore. And there's so much space in the cabin, it's so quiet. And the steering wheel, by the way, it feels like you could break bricks with it. It's just so, it's so solid. Everything you touch, there are no really bad plastics, just very, very good aluminium, leather, wood. Buttons feel nice. Only thing I have to criticize is that the pedals on the steering wheel, they basically come from a Cupra or a Golf GTI, and they are very cheap. For a car that costs, well, in 2021, this 2018 model year cost around 50, 60, 70,000 euros, but when it was new, it was above 100,000 euros. So this really should have been aluminium, not plastic. But having said that, I really cannot fault the car very much. I like how it sounds, I like how it drives, I like how it looks, because, well, it's not irritating anybody. It's just a good looking car. I might actually want to buy one of these in the near future, if I'm, you know, able to. Okay then, this was my short review of the Audi SQ7. Go and buy one, go and test one, because you will like it. You will like it very much, and you will probably like it more than you like your, you know, brand new X5 or something like that. So just go ahead and test one. Okay, and thank you for watching, and I'm out.